Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dugout Mug Studios. This is the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah, we are back. And McGurk right away throwing the cheap shot from down there. We better not be waiting for Logan. No, we are not. We are not waiting. Is that Logan? Who is that Who is that
I don't
man?
know.
That
Look
cleaned
at
up
that
man
face.
over there. Ladies, look out here on a Thursday night. He must have been ready for that Packers-Lions game. No, I'm just kidding. Logan Stone's with us. We're ready to talk some off-season baseball, boys. A lot to get into. We're going to talk Josh Edwards, Logan's stuffed animal, his little buddy that he sleeps with, Mr. Soto, though. We'll get into him a little bit too. Josh Edwards, how are we doing, sir?
Oh man, another week's gone by. It's been a little slow, but we're starting to get some activity. So
Yep.
I'm down to get into the conversation. I mean, we got some big stuff to talk about. So
And we
I'm ready
got
to rock when you
a
are.
new channel, right? That's a big thing here. So just
Oh
like
yeah, I
everybody-
mean, we are on the new channel. We're doing our own thing over here. Obviously, we're still Variety Sports Network. We're just going to be all of our stuff's going to be in one spot, so you guys don't have to dig through all of our other content every time you want to find us. So I see there's 50 of you, 52 of you already here. So thanks for finding the page already and being here. We do appreciate it. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, you see this YouTube, the seventh inning channel there. Then you got us on Variety Sports Network if you're on X there as well. Logan Stone here. Yes, how are you doing, sir? We got the first week in December. Come on, buddy. How is it?
I'm good.
Right.
Hope you guys are doing well. I was curious, you guys starting your own channel, is this like the first step, like where mommy and daddy say, oh, we're just doing this thing where we're sleeping in other beds, and then all of a sudden you guys are all starting a coup against, the Variety Sports Network?
Well, yeah.
Never.
Oh, daddy's home. Daddy's home.
He didn't know. You can't see him, so he didn't know he was there. No, it's really more or less just we got so much content out there right now. It's just to make it easier to find.
And we got some content we're going to get into later here, especially with my A's here, Tyler. Yes, if they're competing with your Giants, that's not a good thing for contracts. Remember, it's only the Athletics now, people. There is no city by the name anymore. So let's get that clear along the way here with it.
I thought they were going to be Sacramento.
Nah, that's not what they're only known as the Athletics here. So hey, we got the ticker here down below. I got some of the headlines for the week. You'll see that with it as well.
That's better than the Utah Hockey Club.
Or
the Washington football team.
Much better than that. What do you guys think? This guy's not going to be playing for one of those teams. He's going to be playing for one of the big boys in Major League Baseball. Sources are Sox are heating it up a little bit. Looks like he's going to get over $600 million. We kind of debated all those numbers come off season. What do you think, Logan? Yankees, Mets, Red Sox. Sounds like Dodgers, Blue Jays are there as well. But those are the top three teams we're hearing as much. Where do you feel like your boy's going to end up here? Where is it starting to get money time here? He says it's going to be a decision probably by Monday.
Yeah, there are teams that I'm more comfortable cutting. I think I've told you, I think the Mets, even though they can give him the bank, I don't think he's necessarily sold on the Mets. I think the Dodgers are out. They're kind of in, but I think they're going to want deferrals, and I don't think deferrals is necessarily what he's after, unless he gets just a buttload of opt-outs.
Yeah, don't you think so with the Mets though? That I would disagree with the sense that I think the Mets might I would think that Boras would get all the offers, and then he would look, and then he would go to New York and say, "All right, listen, Cohen, you have the most money. Do you want?" This is what the final if the Mets want to pull the trigger, it feels like that's where they do have the upper hand, is they could give him the most money. And it sounds like Soto wants the most money. And that's what, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I kind of feel like the Mets are more of a favorite than you think.
You know what I feel about the Mets is they go around to every player saying that they have all the money, so they don't have to spend all the money on that one player, saying, oh, we have all this money, so we'll put a team around you. And so you can just come to us and we'll put a really good team around you. And I feel like that's what the Mets are doing. I don't necessarily feel like I just don't. I think to Soto, it's when you can control where you can go, you get a sense of, okay, I can go to any team I want. So I'm not just, it's not going to have to be just a money thing. There are not mediocre, but lower tier players, lower than Soto, who they can go to, Anthony Rendon. He was a really good player, and teams wanted him, but not necessarily all the big teams want. Every team wants Juan Soto, in a sense. And I think Juan Soto's more thing is like, hey, I can pick a team that I can. I think he really likes playing with Aaron Judge. I think he would really like playing with uh, uh, uh,
Yeah, a little mess up
really
there,
like
Mr.
playing with Betts and Freeman and Otani. I just don't see the Mets. I think him saying, "Oh, I have to be the anchor to this team. I have to be the one who, oh, Francisco Lindor. Okay, that's great. He was good for the first time in 5 years with the Mets, and I just don't see the Mets as a viable place. To me, I think it's Yankees and a very close second, Red Sox.
The Red Sox are interesting. Edwards, I want to get you in on that now. I still think Soto, if they say, hey, we're going to give you 50 more million, he's going to be a Met. That's
No,
how I look at it.
get it.
I think like something like that. He'll be it. But what do you think of what do you kind of feel out? Red Sox is kind of interesting. You're hearing them a lot. I'm curious if Boris is just using them to drive the price up, or is that where the Mets? I don't know. The Sox are interesting to me.
I mean, the people use the Cardinals for that all the time. Teams use the rephrase. Teams used to always use the Cardinals for negotiating leverage and power to get better deals. I don't know, man. This deal. I feel like if he was going to stay with the Yankees, this would have already been done and over with.
Why is that?
I really think the Yankees would have just ponied up if he wanted to be a Yankee, and the Yankees made him a competitive offer between the 550 and 600 mark.
Yeah.
At 15 years, I think he would have taken it. If he loved being in New York, loved being with Judge, if that was where he wanted to be, I think that's what it would take to seal the deal. Because we all know that being in pinstripes in New York, opportunities are going to come to win World Series, and you're at the front of the media anyways.
Yeah.
I don't see the Dodgers doing it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up pulling out some kind of Shohei Ohtani deal for him and find a way to make it work financially. They've made moves already this offseason. The Blue Jays, I think it's a joke. I don't think he'll go to Canada. There's too much. They would have to pay him so much more money because of taxes and exchange rates and everything. I mean,
and they might lose Bichette and Guerrero anyways the next year.
So there's no incentive for him to go there.
There's no infrastructure. It's just going to be him for the next 15 years.
If he
left, it's going to be the same thing if he goes to the Mets.
That's why I don't like him.
If he left the Yankees to go to the Red Sox, does that flip the division right away? Like, are the Red Sox good enough to make that switch right there? Yeah, I know they still would have Cole. They would have the lefty there, the pitcher they had, Rondon. But, obviously he has his – I'd be curious if that division would switch just by – I mean, that's a big piece going to the next line. So that would be interesting that you'd have Soto.
You'd have to pitch to Devers, which would really help the team too. Like, you have to pitch to Devers. Either –
or would they put Devers behind Soto? That would be interesting to line up there too. Yeah, they'd have a lot of
Boston
pieces.
Would still need to go get a lockdown pitcher.
Who was the guy they got last year that we talked about, but he got hurt early on before even was it Giolito? I think it was Giolito that went down. He should be back. Remember, Josh, early in the year, we were talking about guys that go down, but now we're in off season again. That tells you how long. They do have him. Hopefully, I forgot about Giolito coming. He'll be back. So
I totally forgot about that.
We'll see if he can get back, give him any type thing as well. That $600 million though, those teams are driving it up.
Over under, does he start 15 games this year?
I'm going to say yes. He makes it through that this year. Where's the vote?
Fine. Does he win? Does he win half his games this year?
I'm going to say
half the games he starts.
No, I do not. Giolito, no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's still going to be. Well, let's take our vote here, guys. Who do you got? Where do you see end up? Is it sounds like Logan, you're still on the Yankees at the end of the day. Is that where you see him?
So. I think the Yankees have a little bit more desperation than any other team.
Yeah, and they got the 1 year with them under the belt, right? You got so close to a championship.
Yeah. And Juan Soto even said that he's going to give the Yankees every shot to match any offer. And I think that's why the Yankees haven't signed him yet, is because it'd be really stupid to leave $100 million on the table.
Yeah, for
Juan Soto. So, I think the Yankees. Yeah, I don't see the Dodgers really doing it. It's kind of weird to say I don't think the Dodgers necessarily need him. It's more like a gravy type thing, like just extra. for Soto.
So you have Yankees 1. Who would be 2 to you? Mets or Red Sox?
Yeah, Red Sox. It's the Red Sox,
So,
and then I think the Mets, and then Dodgers.
I think
and then
Mets
there's
fans
50
would
feet
be
of crap, and then there's the Blue Jays.
and then the Blue Jays down there. Josh, where's your vote? Where's it going? Susie, yes, we are talking a little. Soto, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna be. I got an Astros thing here just in a second after Josh and
I think Steinbrenner can't afford to let Soto go to Boston, and he can't afford to let him go across town to the Mets. I think whatever the Mets end up offering, because I think they're going to be the highest bidder, because I don't think Toronto matters. Whatever the Mets offer, I think, like you said, Boris is going to go back to New York. New York's going to go give a competitive offer. I don't know if they'll beat it, match it, whatever, but they're going to give a competitive offer, and they're going to say, spend the rest of your career in New York with Judge, have opportunity after opportunity to go for World Series, and just go to walk into the Hall of Fame and pinstripes, I guess.
Yeah. No.
I think that's their best sales pitch. So I'm going to give the Yankees the edge because that's where he's at now. I think it'd be better to see him in Boston.
What a heel turn! What a heel turn, Josh! If he goes to, that's a heel. That'd be a good heel turn if he does.
He does look good in that.
You got to think he's from the Dominican. Poppy's recruiting him. Pedro's recruiting him. They know what kind of legends. He knows what kind of legends they are in Boston. And he could be the next big Dominican Republican and legend out of all. I mean, he could be. Right? I mean, he's getting the sales pitch from everybody outside of the organizations. All the legends, everybody's trying to bring him in.
Well said. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say there was something interesting that Mark Feinstein said today that the Yankees are prepared to give contracts to both Juan Soto and Burns.
That's the key for them, is trying to make those two. And like I said, so the money's there.
So that'd be what, $1 billion they'd spend in the offseason?
I don't think Burns will get $1 billion. He would
900 million.
I mean, they have
probably 800. Yeah, I'd say probably close to.
I don't know.
I mean, not in this year, but I mean, they're going to spend a lot, which is kind of surprising to me. And I mean, they still need relief help. But it's just kind of interesting to me that they are prepared to give contracts to both Soto and another pitcher, the biggest pitcher, honestly, right now.
Well, that's kind of where my mind goes with the Red Sox a little. Is like, what's the deal with them? Like, I know they're waiting on Soto, but what would they do next? Because but like we said, they do have a couple guys coming back. But that's kind of where, and then the Mets, you kind of mentioned, brought them up as well with it. I do want to say real quick here is that the Mets, to me,
Jason Dominguez.
The Mets, again, will have the final say, I feel like. Where you said the Yankees will have it. But what they're going to do is they're going to go to the Mets because I feel like he has the most money. So if you have the guy at the most money, you say, are you going to match this? If he says we're going to go over by $30 million, then you know what? That's where it's going to be tough for Soto to turn down a contract where he's going to get $30 more million in the next team. So then like you said, so that's where, to me, it's going to be tough. And you guys could say, well, it's not about money at that point, but I still think it does a little bit at the end of the day for these guys. Like that end up doing it.
No, so, I think it is about money. I just don't think it's about, I think when you have the luxury of choosing where you want to go and money, I think you would want to go to the team that you're familiar with. And I'm not saying, the Yankees lowball him $100 million and he'll go. I'm just saying if they're, it's a $10 million difference. I don't think he's going to be like, well, you guys won't match that. So
funny. I'm going to say you could be right. Who would play left field? Susie, I'm assuming you're talking for the
Yankees.
For the Yankees. Left field's going to be a big question for them as well. They're going to have to figure that out too. Was there Bader last year in left field? Is that who
left
was there?
Fielders are a dime a dozen. You can go make a
Teoscar.
This was
Dodgers are trying to get him back.
Who? Yeah. I would get that too. I want so Soto ends up. We'll see where he goes. Decision by Monday. It sounds like, who knows with these things. When we have the winter meetings kind of starting next week, so we'll see where it is. I think Juan Soto wants to finally be the prettiest girl in the room.
I don't know if he cares about that.
Soto to the Red Sox in order for that to happen. Yes, it would. It would. Maybe, I don't know.
Susie, did you read that article where that was discussed, or I
mean,
I saw it somewhere on MLB.com where this was part of a discussion, And the one guy came out and said, I don't think he wants to be that guy. He seems to fit perfect in New York, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by the quote unquote shadow of Judge. I don't know. I saw it on MLB.com. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You call her dear?
Darling dear. She's down in the South, man. I like to play to the crowd. Sorry.
Play to the crowd.
Miss Susie. Miss
Josh,
Bergman.
I've never
baseball,
called a
excuse
girl
me.
dear.
Josh,
Mostly because I'm not 110. So.
Oh wow.
You're not in your beard anymore. You can't talk like that. You can't talk like Abe Lincoln anymore.
But,
you got that. All right, well, let's finish up this thoughts here. What do you got with it, Josh? And then we'll get on to the next thing here. What's your thought there? Your final thoughts with Soto there that you're wrapping up with it.
Sorry.
If he ends up in the Mets, I'll just think he's greedy, and I don't think he'll care about winning. I think he just cares about his own personal legacy, and that'll make me not like him.
Interesting.
Because he's become very likable for me.
I like it.
So I just had like this weird thought in my head. What if the Red Sox, because a couple years ago they were like, we don't have money to spend on players anymore.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because we had such a high budget, and it was super weird. Or no, it was last year because they said they couldn't afford.
Remember everybody thought they were going to suck going into last year because the Red Sox didn't sign anybody. They signed Giolito, but that was it, really, basically, and they didn't.
But
like,
anyways,
cut money.
I was thinking, what if the Red Sox are only in to increase the price for Soto for the Yankees?
I mean, I would think so.
Awesome. I would be a Red Sox fan tomorrow.
That would be actually hilarious.
Logan goes heel.
That would be awesome.
That'd be funny. You're back now. Next year, if he goes to the Red Sox, we're going to be getting a lot more. The Red Sox are pissing me off, Logan. Josh, that's what we'll get. The Red Sox are pissing me off. All right, hey, that was good Juan Soto stuff there. I felt like he needed a little conversation, especially with the stuff going on Monday possibly. So I think we need to get that out of it. I don't want to spend a whole. These are some notes from the today basically. So just some things that have come today in baseball as well. Kind of some stuff for Bergman. The Astros have extended $156 million offer to him. It would be the biggest contract in Astros history. Obviously, Altuve got it last year. That's the 5-year deal, $125. As time's going on more and more, and just things I'm reading. I mean, Susie, if you're still on with us, maybe obviously you're down in the area that you love the Astros. So you'll have more insight than me even. But I feel like it feels like it's coming to an end in some way because there was talk about him wanting like $300 million. Nobody in their right mind would give him that. But you get my point. It would be like he probably wanted $200 million. They did, especially probably a year or two ago. What do you think? With him, Josh, just real quick on that part of it, do you think he ends up back with the Astros, or do you think he does move on, maybe to like Seattle or something like that, or maybe even to the Yankees? I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's a good chance he ends up back in Houston, but I don't think he's going to jump early. I think he's going to sit out there and marinate a little bit and see what else comes his way and see what other suitors show up. I mean, if somebody comes out, I mean that's
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money to pass on. But I mean, if it's time for him to bet on himself, if he thinks he's worth more, he's got to go get it. I think if they give him 6, I think that'd be there. You go. Yeah, Susie's got a good number right there. I think that's a lockdown number for him. I think if somebody else offers him that, I think he'll go to that too.
Do you think enough time has gone by with the whole trash can thing and how they handled those press conferences where other teams don't really care about that? Other team fans would be like, oh, we don't want him because of that. You think it's just like he's a good baseball player? You think that part is past enough now? Like where it's just he's not going to be judged on that. Like I feel like a couple of years ago, fans would have been like, I don't want this guy, just because it was like a hot topic back then. But I don't know. However, if suitable, teams give him 7 years, he's gone 7 years. I mean, if he's getting 6 to 7 years and it's 180. I mean, he really did want 300. That's what he was thinking a few years ago. Like, I'm not saying he's getting that, but I'm just saying, like, that's a big mental difference. He'll obviously get a reality check with the teams. They're just going to pay him what he's worth. But like you said, what teams will drive it up? If he has 7 suitors, let's say, or something like that, or 5, like that's going to drive it up a little bit more and more. I don't know. Logan's get you on? Where do you think he ends back up in Houston? And what kind of do you think it's around 6'1", 82?
6'1". Man, that's such a lot. Man, I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's one of those things where where the market is not necessarily looking for a high-profile third baseman outside of,
The Arenado trade.
it's kind of weird to say. Like, if the Yankees miss out on Juan Soto, then yeah, there is a market for Alex Bregman. If the Dodgers don't get Arenado, then yeah, there's something for Alex Bregman. But outside of that, I mean, maybe the Mets. But
You don't think the Mariners would be in on something like him? I would think the Mariners would be in on Bergman.
yeah.
I would think he'd be there. Sorry, your internet kind of is going out. Can you hear me? If so,
Sorry,
let me know.
Sorry, I froze. Can you hear
You're
me?
good. Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah,
Bregman has
but,
191 career home runs, Logan, by the way, and he's only going to be 31 next year. So, he's still 30. So he's 30 right now. I think maybe just on his 31 year. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting.
I think he stays with the Astros. Honestly, I don't see him going to another team. I think the Astros can give him the best deal. I think they, they've been good to him. I think he's comfortable there. So,
Susie, I deal with these MFers every day. That's with it. I had a guy that came out here. We hired him as one of our teachers this year at our school. But he's from Houston, so he comes in with the Houston Astros hat, and he's like, so we're talking baseball stuff. Young guy, and he goes, he's from Texas. He goes, yeah, my first week here, I go to end up at Walmart, and some guy goes, yeah, the trash cans are at aisle 15 or something. Like that. So he's like, yeah, it's just kind of funny that if you're an Astros fan, I guess that's part of the deal with that. So they ain't giving him a big contract, though. Yeah, the Astros have.
I will say the Astros would be stupid to give him that deal, though. I don't think that would be a good deal for them. I think that would be
that's crazy for him. 7 years.
Yeah, I think even this 5-year deal is stupid.
I think a 4-year deal is best up his alley, but he's going to want that. Some team's going to give him a 5th year, though. Don't you think? That's what's going to change.
Yeah, they'll give him a 5th year. That's all that breaks it. I mean, I think the Astros, I think they need to move on, and I think they need to rework it. But I've been wrong about the Astros for the last 4 years. So I'll tell them it's stupid to re-sign Bregman, and then he'll be the home run king next year. So I'll be stupid. So.
I got you. That was a reference to the Astros or to the Mariners with the big contract.
Just my thoughts on it. At one point, bouncing off of what Logan just said, at some point, at what point do the Astros just move on from the so-called golden ages of the Astros, the last 5 to 6 years, and go after somebody younger instead of keep signing the guys like Altuve? I know they're big superstars, but instead of signing, keep bringing, you're adding age to your team.
But I would counter that with he's only 31, and so in baseball, that's kind of it's not a terrible. And
that's prime age, technically.
And the history kind of has with that team, that's to me where it's different than other players. Right. To what you're saying is he has this history with the Astros. The Astros know him really well. They drafted him out of LSU, I believe, or I think that's where it was. But so maybe.
But at some point, the money and the terms.
They do matter.
Are going to go with what the Astros. They're going to get to a point where they aren't getting any better. They're going to stay the same. They're not going. They're going to keep falling off. We see it over and over. We see it all the time.
Who would replace him, Susie? You're out there. If you're who, that kind of leads to Brandon's point. If you lose him, if you just let him go, and you don't sign him, does that put them in? It probably puts them in the Arenado sweepstakes, I'm guessing, and stuff like that. But I don't know. That would be interesting for the Astros to be. Brandon brings up a good point, though, in the sense for me, Josh, where I'm starting to think they do lose one of those nostalgia pieces to your franchise, right? In a sense, by just letting him go, and Altuve and him are kind of bookmarks for their team. So it would be a big loss for a team that's dominated a division for basically a decade now. So it would be, it'd be kind of a big turn. I feel like that'd be a big move.
Do you think it would make sense if Seattle?
I think Seattle. God, they need a bat bad.
That's where I think he should go. If they would offer him any kind of deal, I think he should go there.
It would be interesting if they got. Alec Bohm would be then as well. I know the Mariners have been reported to get him too. Josh, Alec Bohm, the third baseman from the Phillies.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Alex Bregman to the Phillies would be a good one.
That would be
really good.
You guys are taking away all my Arenado locations.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm just saying. That would be a really good.
Susie, I still believe Seattle could do it. They could do it. They could give it. Gosh, it's pathetic the whole day. They're trying to cut payroll. I know they are, but I gotta think they can still make one side. You're gonna cut payroll. Well, they get rid of the crappy contracts you already have. Stop doing the stupid things. Susie, your Astros. We'll see what they do with Bergman. Like I said, it's reported that the Astros have offered him 156. See if he gets more than that. And kind of like how you guys were talking about Juan Soto and the Yankees, that kind of love. Maybe he gives the Astros a little discount along the way. I don't know. We'll see. The other move today was surprising one, boys. The Athletics, not the Oakland Athletics. They go out and sign, and I want to remind people, the largest contract in their that is a pathetic thing that Severino now is the largest contract in the history of your franchise. Eric Chavez, goodbye. He had a $66 million deal at 6 years. And then guess who was third on that list? Yes, Billy Butler, if you remember him. I think it was something biscuit was the nickname or something like that was his nickname there. Big Billy Butler. So those three contracts. Chris Davis all there as well. So Severino, 3 years, $67 million. My goodness. For a guy that's been hurt quite a bit as well, the A's are hoping he'll anchor their rotation. Don't get me wrong from this standpoint. He had a great season, right? He had a great season. Center home, big little. It's very little, and it's in Sacramento. It's about probably like your Texas a little bit without the humidity as much. It gets to about in the summer about 108 to about 112, consistently there. So, and that's 2 hours away from where I live. My sister lives there. Yeah, it's going to be hot there. The stadium is tiny as well. I would expect some home runs in this stadium, but they're going to play a lot of night games that are starting at 7:10. But that's where Severino does play. He is a strikeout guy, Logan, and he got a lot better in that area last year. But I don't know. It's a lot of injury history as well for the A's to rely on there with it too. So it's interesting because the A's are supposed to be there for 3 years. Severino gets the 3-year deal. So I wonder how much more. I wonder what the next best contract offer he had for him to say, you know what, I'm going to Sacramento. I'm curious. If it was it 3 years, $55 million, and the A's were like, hell, we're giving you $12 million more because of our taxes and all that crap. So I don't know. It's interesting what goes on there with it. So I don't know. What do you think, Logan, of that one?
I don't know. It's weird. I thought he would re-sign with the Mets. I thought maybe the Rangers might go after him. I thought there was a couple of really good, decent options before going to hell. But I don't know. I don't understand it really. It's just kind of interesting in a weird way. I don't know why the Athletics are doing it. I mean, it's not like they're necessarily shopping for a contender this year. So
at some point, though, they have a good lineup now. They do have good young players that are coming up. They do have to meet some of that at some point. Like I said, take the stadium crap all at him. All my bitterness towards John Fisher. At some point as a franchise, you have to at least have some sort of commitment to it. Maybe this is just a fake show of the hand, which it feels like a little bit because Severino's not one of the big dogs out there, but whatever. But the fact that this is your biggest contract and then they go out and get him, it is an odd move, but it also is you got to have guys like Lawrence Butler, Brett Rooker. You got to have these guys feel like you're somewhat trying to win, right? I mean, I don't know, at least if I was them, Josh, I'd be like, okay, at least they signed somebody. I don't know.
I mean, I think Severino was like, I'm going to get paid
a lot.
They're not going to care. They have no expectations. If I get hurt, no big deal. I mean, that's kind of how that's the only reason this makes sense to me because it was completely out of left field.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other reason why he'd go there.
I think the money there is a big deal.
The Athletics have the 22nd ranked farm system. I don't see. I mean, besides my boys JJ Bleday and Brent Rooker, I don't see it.
I'm telling you, Butler's going to be a stud for them. He's going to be a stud.
Billy Butler,
not Billy, not Bill the Thrill. No, he will not be the saving grace for them, unfortunately. But the thing is, they don't really have. The one thing I've never worried about as an A's fan, honestly, is their ability to develop hitters. They usually have developed hitters or signed for hitters. That's for some weird way, they're able to usually do that every few years. And I would say, or trade for them. Pitching, they've been pretty consistent with that as well, but they usually end up with a trade or something. Put Lawrence. There you go, Lawrence. Yes, he's a stud. Let's go. Thank you. He is a beast. So he is a good player. And they're gonna have. You remember Jack Wilson, the shortstop for the Pirates? You remember him at all? He was during that era. Yeah. He was a Gold Glove set shortstop for the Pirates in the 2000s. His son Jacob Wilson was the A's top pick a few years ago. He should be up next. He was up a little bit last year. We'll see if he can actually get something. And then yes, Shane Bang, hilarious. Yes, he is good as well. So we'll see what the A's end up doing. I think they do have some young hitters, but their pitching's way off. Severino, I don't know. It's just a weird move. So we'll see where he ends up there with that too. So
a fun fact here, by the way. The A's have the third highest money spent in free agency because of the signing today.
We'll see where they
$8 million.
There you go. And the biggest contract, a big middle finger to any Oakland A's fans out there as well. So thank you for that as well. Athletics do that. So that was kind of some of the moves from today. I just wanted to, as we kind of keep it moving here, I don't know where to go with this one. So I just really want to kind of real quick just say Dodgers, they obviously get Snell for the 5 years, 182. That happened a week ago. We haven't been with you though. So that's why I'm kind of bringing it up right here. So they get the deferred money. I did a little thing, but pros and cons with it. Obviously, he has the best strikeout ratio in the history of Major League Baseball, which is kind of crazy to think of. K per 9. Blake Snell has the best K per 9 ever, but he also, which would really play in the postseason for him. Strikeouts are going to be a huge key. But on the other side of it, as people know, he doesn't go deep into games. 180s is a career high, and 4.1 walks per 9 innings is definitely not that great as well. So that would be your like kind of pros and cons of it. I got some stuff here at the bottom with it. I don't know. He joins a rotation that everybody goes, oh, it's stacked. I go, okay, it is stacked, but you have like 3 guys there that could get hurt, like drop in tomorrow. So
you get Tommy John surgery every 5 minutes. So
yeah, I don't know. And then on top of that, guys, that's why I'm bringing this up too. They signed your boy Tommy Gunn Edman there as well. The Dodgers, they're like, they wanted this guy for years. You could tell they're just one great postseason, 5 years, $74 million. They're good for him. That's a ton of money for Tommy Edman. A ton of money. Nobody would have thought he would have made that 2 years ago. So what do you guys make? I know the Dodgers, all that crap, but just like if we're just talking hardcore baseball here, Snell, Edman, those are some good players they signed. The Snell one, though, I don't know, Josh. I'm not sure. That one I think could come back to maybe bite him a little bit.
Oh, I most definitely think it's going to come back and bite him, if not at least once, if not twice.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean,
that was a 5-year deal. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses 2 seasons.
Yeah, so you're just banking on injury. I don't. Yeah, I know. I mean, he doesn't go deep in the games.
That's why he's got the highest K rate per game, because he don't pitch. He goes out and throws 5 innings and goes in 5. What do you mean no?
That's not how it works.
He got 2 Cy Youngs though.
I'm not. It works. I mean, it's effective, but I mean, I wouldn't pay you. And if you've been watching the show long enough, I'm not paying that guy that kind of money on that kind of contract who's not going to go eat 6 innings every day. At least for the first 3 years of the contract.
Josh, I'm gonna contradict what you're saying, because you're praising Kyle Gibson for the same thing.
Kyle Gibson would go out and eat 6 innings every game. If he was good or bad, it didn't matter. He ate innings, and he was $11 million.
Just throwing that out there. I wanted to share this with you though before I bounce off.
Oh, look at this.
We got the 6.
Gosh, it's so small I can't see.
Yeah, it's a little tough, but yes, I see it there. I got Edman there. They got $1.6 billion in deferred money. It looks like
it's all the deferred money that the Dodgers are paying out over the next. Blake Snell's hasn't been announced yet, but you see where issues are becoming a problem with the deferred money.
I don't think
I have this in my notes.
I don't see it as an issue though. That's where I disagree with anybody that says it's an issue.
Okay, cool. So can I ask you a question then, Darren?
Yeah.
So my question is for this part of the show, because I knew we were going to talk about the Dodgers at some point. Our guest would. How much more can they do this offseason? 1. And then how much of their future are they risking? Because you're going to defer all this money out. I mean,
it's $1 billion. It's $1 billion.
You're gonna cost 12 to 14 years of the franchise doing this, right?
I don't know.
I mean, 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, but he gets the $52 million signing bonus as well, like to start out. So he does get like a massive chunk of money straight out, and then like it's not. I mean, that's a ton of money right now. And then as time goes on, I don't know. I don't see it's within the rules. Any team could do it if they wanted to, right? They could.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. How long do you think they're gonna? How much of their future are they throwing away to win for the next 10 years?
I don't. I mean,
that's where I'm at.
Let me ask you this: if you won 4 championships in 10 years, would you care?
If I was going to suck for the next 15 to 20, yeah, I'd be mad.
They won't suck for the next 15 to 20. They're the Dodgers. They're going to make so much money off Ohtani and this team. Yep. They're not missing. They're not making. I mean, yeah, if they sell the team, yeah, it's like real estate at that point where they're still going to need to pay the guys, but the next owner that would come in would just have to pay. You know, we know that stuff's coming, and he's going to have to pay for that. So, I guess you could say they could be getting off the hook in some ways, but I don't know. What do you got there, Logan?
I never thought about it that way.
This is my view. Is 10 years ago we thought Albert Pujols' $250 million contract was super big and was going to ruin MLB because of big contracts. And 10 years later, or now we don't even look at 250 as that big of a contract. I think in 10 years, I mean, they're going to make all their money back, and paying these guys is not going to be as hard as it would be as paying it today, in a sense, like with inflation and just how the game is moving. Plus, the Dodgers are trying to build something in a sense of like a all-star team that you can watch 162 games out of a season. So they can create sold-out crowds over and over and over again because people want to see Ohtani and the great Dodgers play right now.
And there's also reports. There's also reports they're also going to get Teoscar, to your point too, there, because they are going to keep sending, right, Logan? They're just going to keep going.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think. I think I was, crap. I'm going to do it. I was talking about the other day. I posed to you guys the question: what is going to be the next leap in the baseball evolution? Yeah, and I think deferred money is going to be the thing. I think in 10 years, people are going to say, "Oh, what the Dodgers did was really smart in deferring money." Now, I think the counter is going to be players are going to start really having backloaded things because, if you're getting paid $2 million or $10 million in 20 years, that's not going to be almost worth it in a sense. And so I think players are going to have to push back a little bit in a certain sense. So I think there's a big dynamic that's going to happen with this. As for the Blake Snell signing, I think it's fine. It came out of left field in a sense.
It kind of did, yeah.
I thought Roki was going to be their number one priority, but I think with just the when he's going to be posted, which I think is January 15th.
Yeah,
something crazy. So I think they just needed to get some sort of a sure hand guy now, and they just went and got the best. So I think him being a part of a really good Dodgers team is going to really help him with his consistency issues. As for Tommy Edman,
when you have a team score 6 runs a game for you, it does help.
Yeah, that is true. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a big morale boost, and he's going to get pushed to do more innings. I think he really wants to do more innings.
Will the Dodgers allow him? They're not usually always that. I think the Dodgers like him for the reason we saw him win the post. Well, they won the postseason. They're thinking already the postseason. This guy K's people as long as he goes 5 to 6 innings and they can get it done. That's where it's coming down. Is true. But I want to say this signing just real quick to end it on with the Dodgers. This is why they're the best team, though, and it's by far they're the best organization. I understand all the Ohtani stuff. I get all that. But people have to remember when I know a long time ago, they were looked upon as one of the worst franchises in a way because their ownership was awful. And they would sign guys, but they had no rhyme, no reason, no nothing. They signed like team guys, and then you get a guy like Tommy Edman to your team that's just knows how to play baseball, switch hitter, does all these little things. And then you get a guy like that top Josh, like a just a top utility guy to go with all these stars. I mean, that's where you start to build these great teams. Like that's
you better take Logan off the screen. He about to.
I was gonna say we're about to.
He's about to just bite your head off.
Logan, you tell me how you disagree. If you're a utility player as such as him, and then you now is he better than Chris Taylor? Is he better than Chris Taylor, who was their utility guy? Okay. I mean, Chris Taylor's a good player.
I haven't paid attention to Chris Taylor lately.
Well, Chris Taylor was an all-star about 2 years ago, and he also played all these multiple positions for them. Tommy Edmonds, kind of like him, but I think a little better. So then you get him on a deal like that. My point is, it just fits their roster. Like no team can just say, "Here's $74 million for a utility guy." Well, we're gonna also. That's where like this all to me comes together. Is you start to get these little guys that are good to fit with all these big pieces. And then, Josh, we kind of get what we get now. You just kind of get complete team efforts, I feel like. And that's to me where it's kind of a rub-in sighting a little bit. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll get Blake Snell, but we'll also get this top utility guy. It's just, I don't know. That's where it's like, to me, it's like this.
No, I get it. I
mean, you guys know Cardinals fans. I know you hate him, but he was good. He was a good player.
Yeah. He was okay. He wasn't, and maybe
hurt for him
he's
to say
better
right
whenever he has like.
I
just mean I think maybe he was. I think maybe having a really great team around him boosted him, and being a part of the suckiest team of all time,
and they cut him off on the Cardinals.
Ruined everything for him. So,
Logan, sorry, your mic
well,
right
anyways,
out of Cardinals on that.
It's fine. I think it was a fine deal.
Mets finalized 2-year deal with we get to this one as well. They kind of keep it moving here. Logan, you're a little frozen here on the screen, so I'm going to get you off for a second here. Get you back on when you're moving. Mets finalized 2-year deal worth $35 million with Frankie Montas there. Josh, to talk about a guy with a crazy deal. I mean, I can't believe he got $17 million a year. I cannot believe Frankie Montas got $17 million a year. Logan did make a good point. Well, that's a crazy signing by the Mets. Yeah, I get it. The Mets want it to be like the lefty Mania, but I don't know, Edwards. That's a lot of money for Frankie Montas.
I mean, Cohen's just got money to light on fire, so let him keep doing it.
Man, 17.
I mean, that to me, that kind of. So if I'm Juan Soto, I'm looking and going, you just paid Frankie Montas $17 million a year. Why would I sign a 15-year contract with you and be stuck? You better give me opt-outs every 3 years.
That's why I texted you guys. I said the Mets needed to sign Max Fried or Corbin Burns to show Juan Soto, like, hey, we mean business here. We're not going to just put you in with a bunch of scraps.
Yeah, but they also
don't be like the Cardinals. Go spend money. Don't just go spend money. Go spend money wisely.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one. That one's a tricky one to me. That's like
Brandon Nimmo getting paid $20 million a year. I mean, so stupid.
I know Mets fans. Our guy CP Stearns, he talks about him with that move. He was a little like, so we'll see. Montas, he had a great year at the A's. I know that, and the A's got. But last year he had that good. He did have that good playoff outing against the Mets. Montas, maybe that was enough to sell him on that one.
Would you rather have Luis Severino or Frankie Montas? Severino.
Yeah,
that's what's so weird. Oh, we missed out on Severino, but we got Frankie Montas. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think the Mets. I think Stearns, going back to his Brewers days, and some other ones, where they probably liked him a little bit there. I don't know. There must be something like with Mania. They see that they could do different as well. All right, Arenado. It says that the rumors are he's going to be possibly that he could be willing to play first base. He's 34 years old now. He's going to be trade. He has a no trade clause. He can kind of dictate where these things go at the end of the day. Sounds like he would prefer the West Coast team. Obviously, if the Yankees probably come calling or something like that, things can change. Red Sox, I don't know, stuff like that could change as well. But just real quick, like him moving to first base, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on him. So just like give me a quick thought on that kind of part of it. Josh, him moving to first base. And is it a done deal that the Cardinals will trade him? Or do you think there's any chance he comes back to start the season?
I think there's a really good chance he comes back to start the season. And not say really good chance. I'm going to say It's like 50-50. The Cardinals are not just going to sell him off for a bag of balls and a couple of new bats. They want something in return. Unfortunately, he's owed a lot of money on his contract, and he's declined the last 2 seasons. If they can't get what they feel is his worth or what they are looking to get back at a bare minimum, I think they'll hold on to him, try to see if he gets hot, and then trade him midseason before the deadline. Like if he has 3 weeks and he goes and smashes 7 home runs and 12, 14 RBIs and his numbers off the chart, I think immediately they start trying to shop him. I would guess he's gone before the start of the season. I would prefer us trade Contreras and Arenado move over to first on our team.
Yeah, but the Cardinals have already said they're rebuilding. So to me, that's where it's weird if they do hang on. Then
get rid of Contreras, get rid of Michaelis, get rid of Matz, get rid of Arenado, get rid of all of them.
Yeah, but how about
if you're going to keep one of those 2, keep Arenado.
Okay, but they say they want to unload him. It sounds like Arenado wants to be traded, right? Like that's what he wants.
He has not asked for a trade. This is what the report is. He was asked if they can find something, would he be interested in going elsewhere? He said he would agree to listening to options.
And he has a friendly contract. It's not a terrible contract to end in. The Rockies are paying $5 million of that contract the next 3 years already. So
yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are going to own 74.
He goes, he only goes 20. Yeah, he goes 23, 20, 20, 16, I think it is, and his like contracts year by year. So, and like I said, the Rockies are paying $5 million of that every year too. So we'll see how that leads to negotiations. But I just found it interesting that he's willing to move to first base. And I'm like, dude, you're like one of the best defensive third basemen in a decade.
He'll be the best defensive first baseman.
I'd keep him at third. I would let that guy cook at third. I'd let him cook at third. But
because of the Cardinals situation, though, with Gorman and Walker,
yeah, they want to play.
And Gorman, you got Sajasi. You could move Arenado to first, and you could put one of those other, like you could put Gorman or Walker back at third. They're natural third basemen, anyways. We've had this conversation. That'd be an option. I would just rather dump Contreras. I think he's a worse player overall. I like his bat better, but I do not. I mean, Mason Wynn is going to have 15 extra errors with Wilson Contreras and playing first base. That's my problem.
Yeah, we'll have that with it. Logan, give me 15. Okay. 15. Give me a 30-second thing here. What do you got? I got to keep it moving. What do you got with it?
So let's see. What do I think about first base and if he's going to get moved?
You can give me the whole Arenado thing. You can sum it all up how you got it.
I think it's fine. I don't think there's really I don't see much of a chance. He's not going to get traded at the deadline. He's got so much of a complicated contract. No one would ever want. No one can work that out in just a short time span. It's an off-season move. First base, I think he's talking to teams without talking to them. I think the first base thing was targeted at the Yankees with the Rizzo vacancy. I think the Dodger Blue Instagram post was obviously to the Dodgers. I think the Phillies are an option. I think he likes Bryce Harper. But the more I think about it, the more I don't think it's going to happen. Favorites are probably the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Phillies, Dodgers, Red Sox.
Yeah, that's a good call there. I think it sounds.
I don't think he wants the Red Sox.
No, it sounds like West Coast.
The Red Sox may want. That's true. He's got the no trade. The Red Sox may be able to make it worth his while.
Well, it makes sense for him to go like to the Tigers or something like that. They don't.
I will say,
I don't know if he wants to go play in the cold.
No, he wouldn't. That's my point.
That's why I don't think he'd go to Boston. But I think if Boston sweeten the deal, there's a chance he'd end up there.
So I think if he gets traded, this is why I don't think it's going to happen. Whenever he got traded to the Cardinals, there was so much not complications, but there was a lot of roadblocks. The Cardinals had to add an opt-out, and I think they had to add an extra year because of the players' union kind of going in there. And so I think a trade is going to have to be something like that, where they have to add another year and probably add an opt-out. And I don't think teams are going to want that necessarily. So
no. I think that's where they're going to get. I think that's exactly. I think you said that's exactly where teams are going to be like, that's a red flag, right? That you're right. That sums that.
And maybe it's not as complicated as it was because we're 3 years removed from
No.
that. So maybe it's not, but I think that's gonna pose something.
Yankees, Blue Jays, Giants, they look like they're among burns. We'll get into that a little bit more next week as we kind of get to winter meetings. Also, just wanted to bring up, Josh, was funny. We did talk about it a couple weeks ago, but then they do make the trade. Singer, Royals, they end up getting the Royals get their bat in India. So we'll probably get into that trade a little bit more, but I wanted to bring that up as news of the week. Giants fans out there, Angels fans, I want to get into you guys. I wanted to dive a little deeper into those teams. I feel like we're getting a little long here, so I don't want to dive too deep into them. I just want to bring up real quick that I wrote a little article this week for our show. I'm working on a Mason Wynn one right now, kind of a comparison thing I've seen through shortstops. Some guys that I'm kind of curious as I write it. So you guys check that out. It should be coming hopefully by this weekend as well. But Giants, basically I wrote a Giants articles too. My thing was just I'm interested in the Buster Posey part of it. I'm just fascinated with him being out here in the Bay Area, how much he's loved, where this team has been, and the fan base frustration with them. And then they lose Blake Snell. Does he go sign Burns? I don't see that as an option. Like I mentioned, I just don't see the Giants letting Snell go and then spending more on another pitcher. And then to me, the biggest question for them will be their shortstop. Like if they don't sign Adames, if they don't sign Kim, I don't see them signing Jose Iglesias or another kind of small shortstop. And it'd be interesting if they keep Fitzgerald at short, even though he hit well. The man had 14 errors in 65 games at short. So that's a lot of errors at shortstop as well. So we'll get into them a little bit more next week as well, guys. I also wanted to bring up the Angels. I really want to dive into them next week. They're going to be one of my teams because I'm always fascinated by the stupidity Edwards. And I never have no idea what they're doing in the offseason. Like they'll sign these older guys like I have right here, right? Kikuchi, Solar they trade for. They get Newman, Hendricks.
Hey, they're going with experience now, man.
It's just such a weird franchise.
They want leadership in the clubhouse.
Rendon, you still got to pay Rendon too, Brandon.
They're also the second highest spending team in free agency right now.
Hey, the Athletics and Angels, they're back, baby. These teams are back. So we'll dive into them a little bit more too. I know a little iffy, but I don't know. Let's try to keep it to 2 minutes because
I like the Kikuchi signing.
You do like it? You like it?
I mean, he's solid.
What was that? 3 years, 63 you got? 3 years, 63.
Oh, it was that much?
Yeah.
I never heard the dollar amount.
Yep, 3 years, $63 million for that man right there.
Yeah.
He was brilliant last year after he got traded to the Astros, though. He was pretty good.
I can't believe the Astros didn't try to re-sign him. I know Susie was angry about that.
Bregman's probably a part of it, no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't and I don't know. I feel like
I hear what you're saying. They lack starting pitching. They should have signed him.
Yeah.
They're just taking a book out of the Cardinals playbook, man. I mean, signing Kyle Hendricks. Come on. I don't know. And then Travis d'Arnaud.
And then trading for Soler. They did a lot, Logan. They did some odd stuff. So I don't know.
It's the old man train. That's definitely true.
It's funny. I was talking
to Tyler. The new AARP team.
I was talking to Tyler about Posey, and he's like, it's funny, he's obviously a hardcore fan, but it's for me, I'm maybe not looking at it from his fan base, his point where kind of like you guys with the Cardinals, you get frustrated by little all the time, and then those little things come back to add up to bigger and so I feel like with him with the Giants, it's the same way. But I'm really interested in how Posey handles this because he is supposed to be massively different than their other GM Farhan. So I'm curious how that plays out this offseason with the Giants, just to kind of look where it's at.
Do you think he should wait a year, see everything he's got, and get a real good look at everything from the inside and then start making changes? Or even wait until May and then start making changes?
I think Giants fans would be a little pissed. I think Giants fans would be a little pissed if he did.
You think if he came out and said, guys, if he made a statement to the fans and said, I need to evaluate this team, this organization from the inside in season before I can go make the moves that I need to make to fix this organization. Do you think the Giants fans would accept some kind of an explanation along those lines and they would give him the rope to do so?
He's going to get rope because it's Buster Posey regardless.
That's what I'm saying. So why doesn't he just come out and say that and buy himself some slack?
He could, but I think they might be in on the Burns thing. I think that is a realistic thing. So I think there is possibilities they could go there with it. So, all right.
I look forward to Posey over there, just so you know.
Yeah, I'd be curious how he does. There's a lot of pressure on him right now. So I'm very fascinated by that shortstop, and I'm interested by their starters here to replace Snell after he leaves and goes to a division rival. And yes.
Oh wait, hold on. Breaking news:
What do we got?
Luis Severino will be the ace of the A's in 2025.
That's what I said. He's anchoring this. He's anchoring the staff now, baby. He's anchoring it now. He's our guy. He's our main guy there with it. The team sucks. Tyler's not happy.
MLB Network made a graphic about the Luis Severino saying he is the ace of the team. Like, shut up.
Wow.
He has the ace of it now. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be anybody else. I don't know. Yeah, Tyler, your team does suck, but it'll be interesting how. I'm very fascinated. To me, they're one of the more interesting teams in the offseason because of all these other factors that they have played out. And I am very interested if they'll overspend what I think would be overspending on Kim or Adames. Like, to me, that's a big thing if they overspend on those guys. So we'll see what happens there with it. Edwards.
What would you call overspending on Adames?
I mean, he's going to probably get he's probably going to get 5 years, 135. Maybe that would be overspending, I would think, for him. Anything over 100,
5'1", 25?
I think anything over 120, I would start to get. Just from that standpoint, I'd be like, I don't know.
See, Adames is pretty good, man.
Yeah, like, he is. He is. I think he is a good hitter, but they need RBIs. I know that's who Josh Lewis.
He doesn't miss a lot of time.
No, I think Kim's also a good. Would be a decent fit for them. His defense is good.
I think they need both, honestly.
They definitely need. They need
put them at second and shortstop or third base or whatever. But
definitely,
I think paying Adames more than 24 million a year
crazy
is just. I mean, I think 24 is even pushing it. Yeah. Like that hurts my heart. But I think the Giants are just one of those guys, or one of those teams that are just dumb money, and they're gonna just spend that on Adames.
That's where I'm interested, though. That's where I'm.
That's why I think Adames is there.
I'll see what he does. All right, Peter time. Let's get to it. All right, we're at it. Diamond Notes, part of the show here with it. Diamond Notes with it. I got it at the bottom. We got Blue Jays out there. We say casting away. That Rays are going to play 47 of the last 59 of the first 47 of their first 59 games at home. That's kind of crazy. And 69 of the last 103 on the road. Obviously, Tampa weather outside. You can understand that. Brandon Crawford retires as well. And then we got the Golden Nugget, as I called it. No, the Golden at Bat has been kind of floated out there as well. In Diamond Notes with you. Like I said, I think it's kind of been talked out, that part of it. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think Manfred just kind of threw it out there to kind of see what the public would say a little bit. I'll say this: use it in an All-Star game. I won't care. Use the golden ticket in the All-Star game. You won't see me complain on something like that. I don't care. Those guys play 5 innings anyways. Might as well bring them back to have one more at bat if you need to do something like that. But I don't know. Diamond Notes side of it. I also had a few other things with the players getting a ton of money in the playoffs. The Dodgers players getting a lot of money from the winnings they get. I think it was like $130 million they had total there with it. So a lot of stuff there. And then Brandon Crawford, also a famous St. Louis Cardinal, retired as well. I'll call it a 14-year career. Played 13 of them with those Giants and the Cardinals. We're getting them both on the show again here tonight. Brandon Crawford calls it quits, calls it a career, the 2-time champ. What do you make, Diamond Notes? Anything spark your guys' attention there with some of the stuff I brought up? Edwards, anything?
Josh,
you already know where I'm going to go, so I'm going to let Logan start.
Yeah.
Is it the Golden Nugget?
Golden Bat, non-issue to me. Brandon Crawford, goodbye.
I'm champion. Disrespectful son of a gun. How dare you?
Let's see.
Great.
What was the other one?
We had a lot. We had the Rays are playing a buttload of games on the road at the end of the year. Like 47. We got that going on. I mean, a lot. Just a few little D notes there. Blue Jays casting a wide net as well.
Oh, okay, I see the notes down there. Yeah, Blue Jays, whatever. Re-sign Guerrero and Bichette if he's such a darling. I don't think Bichette is all that in a bag of chips. So whatever. And then
what do you make of that Golden at Bat though? Like, do you think, I know Everett's going to give him do you think like does it ruin baseball for you? If they did that, does it ruin it?
If they did it, yes, but I don't think that's the thing. Is I saw the news and I was like, okay, it's a non-issue. It's not like they were strongly considering it.
Fake
okay,
news.
Yeah.
What do you got, Edwards? What do you got, Edwards? You with them on it?
No, I agree. It's a non-issue because I don't think it'll actually ever
Not
happen.
serious. It can't happen.
My problem with it is they uttered it. Like, why in God's green earth, with everything else you've done to this sport to try to destroy it, why would you bring the Savannah Bananas to Major League Baseball? That's a Savannah Banana rule. Let it stay there for entertainment only purposes. This game does not need to be fixed. Every time he makes these rule changes, there's a couple of them that I've been okay with, a couple of them that don't seem to have affected the game, but there's some I just don't like. And this is something that I would be done with Major League Baseball.
Well, it would kind of take out the whole thing. Give a light up for a reason, right? You go to guys like that. There'd be a lot of weird things that the Golden Goose is in a terrible light as long as you just switch the guys in order. Tyler,
it's not going to happen, but stupid.
I can't believe Tyler even thinks it's a good idea. To me, it would be. I mean, yeah, I get you. Maybe it's not terrible, but to me, it would just it changes the whole game in terms of, especially like the history of it. Like, I mean, stats wise, you get these guys that just randomly get an extra at bat. I read an article by Jason Stark. It might be like they were throwing out things like you can only use it in the 9th inning if you're down or whatever stuff like that is when you can only use it. Or the 7th inning or after. But I just feel like that is like pushing the game to a different level. Like that changes it hugely. Like getting a pitch clock, getting the bases bigger. Yeah, that changes the game, but it kind of does what the player should have already been doing, which was pitching faster. And you know what I mean? Like that I'm okay with because you're trying to speed up something that was part of the game. This to me just completely changes it. And to me, it is actually a stupid idea. I don't even like the idea. I think
it's a bad look. Even if he just wanted to get some attention for the MLB,
I like
this is not the kind of attention you want. Now, no, yeah. If you want to use this as an exhibition rule for the All-Star game, just an extra for the All-Star game, fine, go for it. I got no problem with that. But this rule should have no impact in any game that affects the record or championship or anything for the game of baseball.
Could you imagine how many times the Red Sox would have been like, Poppy, you're up again after you walked. You got to intentionally watch. You're back up again. Let's get it done. Soto, you're up. Shohei, you're up again. So, you know, like, it just, I don't know. I get it, but let me see.
You're fine. Go ahead, Logan.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I want to clarify though, Josh. Manfred didn't leak that story. That was leaked. Manfred didn't want that to come out. That was just a discussion that they had, and we don't know the depth that it came out at, and we don't know the context that he may have denied it on the spot. Someone may have brought it up, and he said, "No, that's stupid." All that said was there were conversations, and I think that like there could have been a context like, hey, what if it was an extra inning thing? What if like in the extra inning you got to do, you know, if you wanted to bring up Aaron Judge, but after the at bat he couldn't play in the game for like he had to be taken out or whatever. Like, I mean, I think an extra inning rule would be interesting. I think All-Star game would be interesting. I think it's such a non-issue that I don't think it's worth getting mad about and like the sanctity of the game.
But he actually made direct content on what the rule would be.
I think
like there's an exact quote and it quotes, it's putting your best player out there out of order at a particular point in the game. Manfred said that rule and things like that are in the conversation only stage right now. So yes, it's in the conversation stage. My whole point is it just shouldn't even be there should be no conversation.
Changes.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It shouldn't have even ever been conceived. That's all
I think that's why he kind of brought it up to kind of feel out what people were thinking. I think that's kind of what it is. So they get a little feedback.
I think that would be.
Brandon, what was your thoughts there?
I just say I agree. I think All-Star game would be fun. It would be fun to see an All-Star game.
Perfect.
Do it. That's fine. if giant, huge, big giant, if it like as big as Jupiter, just because it's ridiculous to even think about. If you have a guy on base, you can't bring that guy on base back up to bat. That would be one of the rules. Like if
it'd be
a thing.
Ghost runner, you get a ghost runner at first.
You can't double down and get a pinch runner and no.
Yeah, you know,
I can't wait till Aaron Judge hits a double and he stays between first and second.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, you got me.
You got me.
Sorry, guys."
My favorite thing would be like, all right, Juan Soto's up, hits into a double play. All right, you get one more chance. Let's bring you back up.
Yeah.
One more time.
I was just say I saw something earlier. It was talking about Ohtani, and it's like, all right, like you got bases loaded, you strike out Ohtani, you got 2 outs, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, guess what? Here comes
Ohtani's back
Ohtani
up.
again. That'd be the worst thing ever.
Brandon, I appreciate anybody's joining us. We got a lot of people joining us on X tonight as well. Checking out hopefully on the new YouTube channel. Before we get to trivia here,
okay, good boy.
We're gonna go to Bonanza here. Walk off trivia, a little new thing here they got on X that we've been finding. We got a little thing with it. All right, let's not take forever on these because that's not the point of it. So like the idea is like in a minute, Brandon, you're gonna have the hardest job because you're gonna have to move these things as we're talking. So
yeah,
let's give between Logan and Josh. I can see the team you have up there. So we'll give them a shot at it. If they need some help, I'll help them along the way with it. But what do you got for it? And we want to shout them out. Walk up trivia, follow them over X as well. So what do you got, Brandon? Bring it up there.
Ciao.
So you got to be able to get these in the same order. It doesn't have to be top 1 to 3, just to let people know. You have names. You got to fit it into a category. So we have top 1999 top 3 strikeout pitchers. 2004 top 4 most strikeout batting. 2010 top 5 strikeouts pitching. 2012 top 6 most strikeouts batting. So you have to kind of figure out the eras quickly and move them. So as I'm kind of getting the rules to Logan there, what do you guys got?
Move Jim Edmonds over to top 4 most strikeouts batting in 2004.
Who?
That's what we have to do.
Oh, okay.
So move Edmonds where.
Okay. I get it.
Roland's probably fine there in 04, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bottenfield.
Okay,
I don't remember him.
99 strikeout.
Matt Holliday.
I think Darren Oliver is going to be number 1 on the 1999 top 3 strikeouts.
It doesn't have to be in order. It just has to be in that
column.
okay.
Yep. Okay, so I don't even remember Hawksworth. So
30 seconds left. No, I'm just kidding.
So Matt Holliday has to come back, doesn't he?
No, because that's pitching. 2010's pitching.
12. Yeah, my fault. Shoot.
Yeah, because pitching.
Reggie Sanders wasn't a pitcher, so either was Alan Craig.
Reggie Sanders was a right fielder.
So Kent Bottenfield must have been a pitcher. Move him with Alan Craig.
Bottenfield almost was in the Cy Young conversation in the early 2000s with the Anaheim Angel led of all teams.
Move him with Alan Craig.
Well, he needs to be out of that category.
Bottenfield
99 then.
Yeah, he's gonna
be a 99.
He's gonna be over.
Yeah,
there you go.
So
put McClellan in 2010.
Switch with Jose.
Yep. And you're going to want Chris Carpenter in the pitching, right? Too?
Jose Jimenez was 99, wasn't he? Because he was a rookie and had a no-hitter in 99.
Yep, you're going to want him there too. All right. There's no way Holiday's 2012. I would think he would be. He's got to be there over Jose Jimenez. Move Jimenez over Holiday there.
No. Holiday is in 12.
Holiday wasn't back in 04.
He was in 04.
No,
10's pitching also. That's pitching.
10 is pitching.
Batting. So
Reggie Sanders wasn't a pitcher.
Sanders should be in the 2004 top.
Jose Jimenez is not a hitter, so that's the one, right?
Yeah. So switch Jimenez and Sanders.
There you go. I think that's your answer right there. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got,
Brandon. Let's see what we get. We're off somewhere.
Come on, Brandon. Let's see what they got. What's the swing here?
That was horrible.
We got one. Blake.
I told you Jimenez was 99.
I didn't even know
who
the hell is Blake.
I thought he was.
I didn't even know that guy.
I don't know who Hawksworth was. That was my problem.
Blake Hawksworth.
I thought Jose Jimenez was okay.
There we got it. All right, so that's our little walk off there with the Cardinals. You got one more team on there, Brandon, or is that what we got tonight with them?
All right, you want to do another one? We can do another one.
Let's see my age real quick. Let me see how quick.
Golly.
Let me see how quick.
Let's do the Yankees.
I'll spank the Yanks for that. What do you got for? I got there. All right, top 99. Let's go right away. So let me get the pictures over there for you. We're gonna go Tim Hudson. You got to move him over there.
Was he over 99?
Yeah, he's going over there.
2010 Trevor Cahill.
Jimmy Haynes
at the bottom right.
Yeah, he's going there.
Did Jermaine Dye go back to?
Yeah, Jimmy Haynes over DeRozzo, just at the hitting
Brandon
spot.
Moss needs to stay. Dallas Braden needs to be in 2010 pitching.
Hold on, switch. Yeah, hold on.
So switch with Jermaine Dye. Oh, yes, Cespedes too.
Jermaine needs to stay.
Haynes, it's going to be Haynes and Durazo. Get that one. That's the one you got to get. Haynes and Durazo. Over there.
Durazo.
Yep.
What about Gio and Gio Gonzalez and
Cespedes? Yep, right there. That's right there. And then you'll want to move Durazo and Cespedes. And then that's your answer.
Okay.
There you go. That's your answer right there. That's good. Come on, Jimmy Haynes. You're the only one I'm not aware of.
Wow,
Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Yeah, there we go.
My boy.
There we go.
Good job, Darren.
There we go, Jimmy Haynes. Jimmy Haynes on that one. That's the only one. So a little walk-off trivia there, right, Brandon? That was kind of fun.
That's cool. That walk-off, that's neat.
They have different categories every day.
Every day.
It's not top 3 strikeouts. It could be like, I don't know. They might have like who was a catcher or something, or who bat left-handed.
Today's thing was swinging a whiff. Swinging a whiff.
So check it out. Walk off their X. Hopefully we can get them on the show one time to kind of do it even more. That'd be fun. Go ahead, Logan.
What is the real trivia though? Come on, I know you have something.
The real trivia for tonight is my MLB one, and I got it. I think it's a tougher one. This is a tougher one. We'll see if you guys can get it. Logan, I expect you to get it though. I do expect you to get it over here. We'll see if you can get the job done for me. This era is not going to be friendly to Josh Edwards, so let's just put it on the table. 1982 to 1995. I was a 6-time All-Star, a 9-time Gold Glover, and I was an MVP winner in 1985. So I can't give everything away, obviously. Logan, do you want to take a guess at it or no?
I almost said Ozzie Smith, but it's not 82.
No,
I would have laughed if it was Ozzie Smith and he didn't get it.
But Ozzie Smith retired in 96.
Yeah, and he started in like 78.
He did.
Yeah, you can move it.
All right, hit number 2. I played for one team my whole career, like big odds. I won a batting title, and I was also NL Manager of the Year in 2020.
NL Manager of the Year.
Joe Girardi?
Nope. I love COVID. That's what it is. The Manager of the Year. I love COVID. 2020. You get that one.
Who is it? I know it. Don't move.
Can't look it up. Nobody looked at it.
Did he manage the team that he played for?
I will not give that clue away. He did not.
Okay, NL teams. NL teams.
I'm just trying to figure who was manager in 2020.
Hit number 3. I feel like you guys might be too young for hit number 3. It would be an automatic for me to give it away.
I got Mattingly still managing in 2020?
Hold on. I'm trying to think of 2020 right now. Who won?
Let me go hit number 3 on it. Let me go hit number 3. I think Edward, you want to make a guess?
I asked. It was Mattingly managing in 2020?
Folks, we do have Don Mattingly as the answer. Maybe it was Logan being frozen up there. I don't know what it is, but it is Don Mattingly. He does get it.
I never get those.
You in first baseman, you got Jason Giambi, and now you got Don Mattingly. If I don't put a first baseman up there, you don't get it. I get it. Hit number 3 was I made only one postseason, coming to 1995, where my team blew a 2-0 series lead to the Mariners and the Ken Griffey slide there. And he would go on to retire, and then the Yankees won the World Series in 1996. And folks, somehow he is not a Hall of Famer as well. Not a Hall of Famer. Probably one of the best 6 years runs where you're not going to be a Hall of Famer. Kind of crazy on that side of it. He does win the NL Manager of the Year. Josh, that's good.
I should have gotten that.
Well done.
I should have gotten that earlier.
That's why I was
put that chest out high tonight, Edwards. Put that chest out high tonight. You're feeling good tonight. I like it.
When did Girardi take over the Phillies?
2017.
He must have won it with the Marlins.
18.
It was with the Marlins. He was in Miami.
Definitely with the
when he
Marlins.
won it.
Yeah. He was with the Dodgers. Do you guys remember the famous one he had with the Dodgers, though? It was like a bonehead play where he went out there, he talked to the pitcher, he left the mound, but he just got onto the grass area by like 2 steps, and they went back on. And then Bochy's like, nope, that's a mound visit. And they had to like get the starter out because it was like counted as too many mound visits. So that was always a thing with Mattingly. Edwards, I'm proud of you tonight. This is something where I'm very proud of you. This is a big one, big moment for us.
That's every time I think of 1995, I think about him retiring that year, and then the Yankees winning the next year. And now, I can't believe it. I was so close. I was like, I know it. It's wait, what was the hint number 3?
Hint number 3 was that I made. You would have got it after that. Probably. I only made the postseason coming in 1995. That was a big play for me on that one. So All right, so we got that on there with
You
it.
picked one of the few players I actually knew something about for once.
I was kind of surprised still, though, that Edwards. I'm gonna say I was still a little surprised, Don. You surprised me with. I was like, oh, there's no way Edwards again. So Edwards, I'm wrong. You were right. That is the key to success. You and you're right. We got it. So all right, that was our trivia for it. Logan stumped you. Let's go. We got it over Edwards. It's a shot to them at Logan. He has a little bragging rights for it this week as well. All right, let's flashback.
What a ride! The Cardinals are world champs in 2011.
All right, Buck, give us the flashback here. Where did Josh Edwards go? He's somewhere around there. He moved. Let's get him back on. Is he out there on purpose? There you go. Add the stage here. Here we go. Here we go with it. All right, MLB flashback video here. 1991 World Series, Logan. Now, I don't know if anybody watches NFL around here, where we saw a guy get suspended 3 games for a hit on Mr. Lawrence. I want you to just think about that play when you watch baseball here right now. This is old school baseball, 91 World Series. Jack Morris on the mound. Terry Pendleton hitting.
Pendleton drills one to deep center. Lonnie Smith is going to hit for third. Nobody out. They're sending him home. A late throw by Knobloch and out. Harper held the ball. Pendleton ends up at third.
That's good old-fashioned baseball right there.
They sent him with nobody out.
Oh my! And that to me, when I saw that hit, I was like, Trevor Lawrence got suspended 3 games for playing the NFL. So take that 30 years ago in baseball, and you're allowed just to light mothers up after that. That is lighting up a catcher. And the fact I love it, he's like, F you with the ball, like right in, like he just gets up and he's like, I mean, that's a shot, gentlemen. That is a shot there.
I mean, that's impressive that he even held onto the ball.
That's old school.
That's why Buster Posey. That's why I don't like Buster Posey.
There you go.
He couldn't take that.
Why did you do this, Darren?
He broke his dang leg.
We're not getting on Poster Posey.
I don't care.
Yeah, Scott Cousins, Sacramento guy.
I will.
But
I will say that
kind of a funny play. We'll throw
that
there.
catcher was not putting himself in the best position to be on his get on his knees right there. He should have.
He took the whole hit.
He should have taken a little bit more of a stance.
I think will help. I actually think he braced himself better than any catcher I've ever seen brace themselves.
Yeah, but he took the whole hit broad. I mean, he could have been on a knee and was a little more ready for.
You could have. I mean, if you're not taking that hit right, you could snap your leg in half.
I
got to give him a little respect though for just right there, like take that, baby, take that right there. So I thought you guys would appreciate that little football season, especially when I saw that Trevor Lawrence thing. It kind of made me think of like 3-game suspension baseball back in the day, a little different back then with things you could do. Hey, and a lot of people.
Do you want the football update really quick?
No, but no.
Yes.
It's 31.
It's 31-31. Fourth quarter, minute 30 left.
Oh, what's the score, bud?
31-31.
Okay, 31-31. We like it. But I appreciate all you people that think like me, where the game's going on, and I go, it's baseball for me at times.
I forgot to message you this. I took Green Bay plus 3.5.
Oh God!
It's a little too late now for that.
I know.
Make a short on it.
But I picked it on ESPN today. I just forgot to send it to you.
Detroit should win this with the Jake Bates field goal. So,
but I figured it would be close with all the injuries.
Who's the best Bates in baseball ever? Do we have a Bates? No, we have other with it. So hey, Logan,
the one on Star Wars nights.
The fact that I can sleep,
best
I got the Bates. I don't watch Star Wars. Josh Lewis.
And his name is Master.
I like it.
Sorry,
Logan Stone. As we end on a high note there with it. What do you like it as? Appreciate you joining, man. Off season. Hopefully next week. I think we'll probably do a show next week as well. Only because I expect a lot of moves. I expect next week to be kind of with the winter meeting starting Monday. There should be some action by Thursday. So hopefully it's not like last year where we're waiting until March. It feels – don't you guys get that feeling? I feel like the market feels different this year, the Snell thing. So I expect there to be some action next week as we kind of get here. So hopefully we'll definitely be with you in some form, at least on some shorts or something on our new YouTube channel here with it. So Logan, we'll see where your boy goes Monday. See where he ends up. It's going to be interesting if he has to make the decision.
So where's he going, Logan?
Spank the Yanks. I think that's what Logan's got on. By that much.
Red Sox.
Or does he heel turn? Does he heel turn? Go to the Red Sox.
He's not going to the West Coast, so we know
It'd
that.
be a massive heel turn if he goes to the Dodgers. That'd be the ultimate heel turn.
They're gonna have to pay him some extra money to go back over there.
We defer $1 billion. We defer another $500 million deal. We do it again. Brandon,
we'll give you the Shohei deal. There you go.
Great job producing tonight with us. Appreciate it. Did the walk-off stuff as well. I know you did a lot during the week, getting some of the tweets and getting all the stuff out. So I know me and Edwards appreciate it from that standpoint and all that stuff you do for us on there. Logan Stone, hopefully you'll be with us throughout the offseason here. And obviously, as you know, during the regular season, always welcome. But I love your offseason, your passion for offseason, always for me is a big deal as well. So, boys, good show tonight, though. Good show. We'll be with you hopefully next Thursday as well, as we got some hopefully more moves to talk about. And I highly doubt the A's and the Angels will be our top 3 spenders of the offseason by the time we meet next Thursday as well.
So. If they still are, we're not having a show next week.
We are definitely not having a show unless the A's get Juan Soto. What a move. He's going to Sacramento.
We'll just do a short for that. It ain't going to change.
Let's not even joke about that. Okay? We're still sensitive here.
He just needs to go to Tampa Bay. Just go to Tampa Bay.
Go to Tampa. Yeah, we go there. He's going to go play at another minor league stadium. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Good show. Go enjoy the rest of Mr. Bates or whatever you got there with the Logan at the end there. So, all right, boys. Logan Stone, Josh Edwards, producer Brandon, the CEO, is the best in the business. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.